Good Shabbos, dear friends. What a glorious Shabbos we are entering. What a special time, particularly in contrast to just coming out of the saddest period of the year, the saddest day of the year, sitting on the ground like mourners, no showers, no shoes, no food, no drink, reading elegies that break your heart and bring tears to your eyes, reading about the self-sacrifice, the torture, the humiliation, the exiles, the enslavement of our ancestry throughout history. And yet, we are here today celebrating not just a Shabbos that's called the Shabbos of consolation, a Shabbos of joy, a Shabbos of happiness, but a double consolation. In fact, the Haftorah that we read in conjunction with this Torah portion, Vaetchanan, which contains the 10 Commandments, contains the mitzvah of saying the Shema, all of the most important mitzvahs, contains Moses' prayer to God with the same language as Nachamu, which means console, console. Vaetchanan has the same letters, begging God, beseeching God. And even though sometimes God says, now is not the time, as he said to Moses, nonetheless, we are consoled in knowing that God is always with us. And this portion the Torah tells us, and we read this portion on Tisha B'Av, when your children in the future generations will come about and they will unfortunately alienate themselves from Hashem, from godliness, from holiness, from Jewishness, from the way of life that has been embedded in us, we will feel lost. And God will unfortunately not be there for us. We will have abandoned him. Not he us, but we him. And God says, when you call out to me, I will always be there for you. You are my children. My essence is implanted in the essence of your heart. Whether you understand it or not, whether it's conscious or not, whether you behave according to it or not, it is there. And there are moments when it will never get lost. Nachamu, Nachamu, God says, I will consistently console you. And the question is, a day after Tisha B'Av, we're still suffering so much difficulty. How do we get consoled? Is it just a word? Or is it a feeling? Can you make it happen in your life? What do you do? The answer is, look at our history. The Jewish people are already very much used to this process. We are learned in how to be consoled through difficulty. We are learned to go through challenges, to have the resilience that we have, the uniqueness of the Jewish people. No matter what happens to us in history, we come out on top every single time because God never forsakes us. What it takes is a complete trust in Hashem and hope. Hope and trust are two factors that are so necessary and so potent in allowing us to move through the most difficult, dark moments with joy and alacrity and the knowledge that Hashem is with us. And even as we walk across the tightrope over the Grand Canyon with the abyss under us, and we don't know, is there a safety net under us? All we have to look is in our Torah and history, and we know that there's always a safety net under us. There's always Jewish hope. There's always Jewish trust in Hashem. And in such a way, God says, console, console, a double consolation, not only a single consolation. Hashem is always with us. And he tells us no matter what happens in life, you will never be abandoned because the eternal God, whose covenant is eternal, his word is eternal, whose love is eternal, is our Father in heaven, our God, and that eternity will represent itself consistently throughout our life in our present times, take us through any difficulty and challenge, and make sure that at the end of the day, we will always end up to be on top, over the top. God bless you. Have a great Shabbos. And also, Saturday night we have a kumzis in the shul in honor of this special time. Music, refreshments, a real good time, singers. Come over Saturday night. Everybody's invited. 10 o'clock in the evening. God bless you. Shabbat Shalom.